Oh,
In September,
yes.
a prophet came to our church,
Thank you, Prophet Weaver.
Prophet James Weaver.
Thank you.
At the end of the service, he said, "Is there somebody on magic?" And that was our family. The street where we lived
It's
had magic in it.
Magic Drive.
So as a result, we came up to the podium where he was, and he turned and talked to my father and said, "The Lord is working on your son in law. He is a man after God's heart, and the spirit of success is on his life." But the greatest success is going to come in being yoked to your daughter. And I claim that for myself. I have a sister that's also not married, but I was like, that's mine. Hey.
Hey, welcome. And tonight we want to talk to you about, this is episode 1 of many, but we want to talk to you about road map to marriage.
Actually, this whole thing is roadmap to marriage.
Oh,
We're going to be talking about before you get married,
oh,
on your way to marriage,
okay.
and then once you say I do,
You did.
woo,
That's my favorite one.
That's when the journey
I
starts.
actually did a sermon on that. Once you say I did, you did. Once you say I do, you did. And it's a tongue twister, but I think it'll help you really put in your head that once you go to that altar and you say I do, you did. No backseas, as my father-in-law told me. Someday we'll show you the clip. But we really need to help you really from the beginning.
So let's introduce ourselves.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
So my name is John. This is my beautiful wife, Paula. And together, we'll be together almost 15 years in December 18th,
Yes.
2010. We got married. And that was a road map to marriage.
Exactly. So why don't you start with your part of the journey?
My part of the journey. So here's my part of the journey. Now, here's the cool part is that this is what I really gonna encourage you to do. On the bottom, we're gonna put down a link so you can buy my wife's book, Delayed Not Denied. It's gonna tell you everything about what we're gonna talk about tonight, but I'm gonna give you a sneak preview of what's in the book. Here's what's in the book. So there was this time called June 26th, 2010. I was sitting at a meeting at Historic Kelly Temple, which is in Harlem, New York. We were there for our denomination's leadership conference, for lack of a better term, just to make it easy. And I was sitting at a table with my pastor, and all of a sudden, I look up, and just like the movie, literally, light breaks open, and there shines on this beautiful woman wearing this black dress with white polka dots. I was done. I looked at her, and all I heard my pastor say and try to wake me up from where I was, do you realize whose daughter that is? I said, I don't care whose daughter that is. And that's when the landslide started, because that was June 26th. And then what happened was, I didn't listen to my pastor. I saw who I was going to call. I saw who I was going to engage with. I saw what I was going to do, and it didn't matter what everybody else said. I was going forward. So what I did is I said, let me do protocol. So at the time, my brother-in-law was her pastor, which is her brother, which is her younger brother, actually, because she's the oldest, and so am I. And we'll get into that some other time. So I called him and said, hey, is your daughter? No, it wasn't. So is your sister seeing anybody? He said, no. I said, well, look, I just wanted to let you know I was going to give her a call. And of course, I know he was dying on the inside, but he never told me. Actually, it's been 15 years. He really hasn't even told me. And he gave me the green light. And I proceeded to do what I normally do when I was on a sales call. I call until I get somebody. And I got her. And I asked her out. She happened to be, I'll let her fill that in, where she was. And we went on our first official date on July 3rd, 2010. We met on her turf, which was Kingston.
So, ladies, no dinner. I said, we'll meet for brunch.
Yes.
And then he asked if he could pick me up. I said, no, I'll meet you there.
Yeah. So she did all that.
Yeah.
She did. Can't even fight it. Didn't want to. I just said, let's go. So we did. We met. And we met at
Dyson's in Kingston, New York.
Yeah.
Still there. Great food. Dyson's, if you're listening, you could sponsor us.
Correct. They made our wedding cake. You should sponsor us, actually. Because we actually ate it a year later and it was still great. I can't eat it anymore, but I can eat it. You know, I could enjoy it back then. So we go out and one thing
let's go back.
So stop here.
So at the first date, well, let me start back with the 26th.
Yeah, start back on the 26th.
Actually, the 25th, that Friday night, I was still living at home. I was 49 at the time, believe it. Well, 48.
48.
I was 48 at the time.
Yes.
And I wanted to go to this conference. And my father said, yep, you can ride down with us as long as you're not late. I overslept. But I felt such a drive to be there. You ever feel like the Lord is saying to call somebody or to go and show up in a certain place? That's the way I felt on that day.
Thank God.
So I called around and found one of my uncles who was also going to the conference. So we rode down together. And that's when he let me off in front of the church because there's no parking. So instead of making me walk, my uncle dropped me off. And
Chivalry's
that was
not
the
dead.
day.
It's wonderful.
That was the day when he saw me.
Yes.
So then he calls me and we go out on this date. And when we sit at the table.
Oh, no. Tell him where you were when I called.
Oh, I was at a conference. At the time, I was a principal of an elementary school. In fact, the elementary school that I attended and did all my teaching at, we were at a leadership conference and we were sitting at the table. I was sitting next to a girlfriend of mine when he called. And when he called, I showed her the name because he was in my phone because I had done some work with him before.
Thank
so
God.
I knew who it was. I pointed to the phone. It's like,
who's this joker?
Now, let's backtrack a little bit. In 2009.
Oh.
In September.
Yes.
A prophet came to our church.
Thank you, Prophet Weaver.
Prophet James Weaver.
Thank you.
At the end of the service, he said, is there somebody on magic? And that was our family. The street where we lived had magic in it.
Magic Drive.
So as a result, we came up to the podium where he was, and he turned and talked to my father and said, the Lord is working on your son-in-law. He is a man after God's heart, and the spirit of success is on his life. But the greatest success is going to come in being yoked to your daughter. And I claimed that for myself. I have a sister that's also not married, but I was like, that's mine. So that went on. That following November, I hosted a retreat. And at the retreat, I'd been praying and fasting and asking God to do something really special in that weekend. Well, I had no idea the emotions and everything would be centered around what I blurted out. And at the retreat, it was a women's retreat only.
There was somebody there.
I said to the women, I feel like I'm going to be married in the year.
Yeah.
And the girlfriend that was sitting next to me when he called me at the leadership conference was there also. And she's like, to who?
To who?
Because I wasn't dating anybody.
There was also a friend of mine that was there.
Oh, that's right. Patty.
Yeah, there was somebody there. And lo and behold, on her way home from this wonderful retreat, I got a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
She says, have you ever considered Paula, because she made this declaration that she wanted to be married. And I was like, Paula who? Paula Child? I said, no. No.
See, we knew each other,
Right,
but
we
we
didn't
were
know.
acquaintances.
So I got that phone call. She made a declaration. I get a phone call. And I was like, no.
So November 2009, the
Yeah.
Lord planted the seed in his mind
In my mind.
through our mutual
But
friend,
it had to get here.
Patty Wallace.
Right, but it had to get here. So it
then jump forward all these months on June 26, 2010.
Yes.
That's when it started to take root, and he acted on that seed that was planted. So at our date,
June 26th. Oh, June 26th. I thought you, yes,
that's
June 26th.
Saturday. At our date on July 3rd.
Yes.
He started to tell me all the stuff that I liked. He said, I know your favorite musical is
West Side Story.
And I know you like your favorite book is
The Shack.
And he started telling me all this stuff. And ladies, I was like freaking out. Like, how's he know this? Well, it was early on in Facebook.
Very for her.
I didn't get the concept.
No.
I didn't realize that the whole world could see what I posted if they were on there.
Especially yours truly. Now, what she didn't know is that in my sales career, that's what I did. I always prepared myself for the meeting that I was about to go into. Mm-hmm. And if I prepared to win, I wanted to know who I was going to meet, what they liked, what they didn't like, this and that and the other thing. So to me, this was I was going to close a sale. And that sale was called marriage. Mm. There was I wasn't taking a back seat. I was in there to close a deal. And so I did my homework.
But seriously, catch that. It wasn't casual dating. It was very intentional on his part. I was
deliberate.
He had a very specific goal in mind.
Yes.
He knew what he wanted to do.
Yes.
And because of that, he approached this whole thing with laser focus.
There was no shotgun here. This was a sniper rifle. There was no. I wasn't taking any chances. I came prepared. I knew who I wanted, what I wanted, where I wanted. And then what happened, what the great thing was, I figured, okay, we do brunch. Yeah. No problem.
Yeah.
Then we went to a movie.
Well, first we went to a park.
So I figured the longer it lasted, I figured, man, it's like being on a sales call. The longer I'm with engagement, I figured the better off I was going to be.
And I was just trying to think, where can we go where nobody would see me that I would know?
They wouldn't know me. Park. They knew her.
We went to the park. Beautiful park in our area. Water, places to walk, all of that. The first people I see are staff members from my elementary school. I was like, oh, okay. So we stayed there because the movie that we were going to didn't start for a little while. So then we get to the movie. Yep. What did we see?
Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz.
Yes.
I don't remember the movie, but I've seen it. Day and Night. I've seen it like a couple of gazillion times.
Yep.
But Cruise and Diaz. And so that was the movie.
Yep.
So we were there. Popcorn and all.
And yeah. So right after the movie,
then
we went to dinner.
Yes.
At a restaurant that is no longer here.
No.
Friendlies.
The Fribble.
Friendlies.
Anybody remember the Fribble? And let me if you remember what a Fribble is, put it in the chat. If you don't remember, go Google it and then come back and put it in the chat.
But we went to Friendlies, and then there were a couple table full of college students that I knew. It's like I could not escape it. So we wound up spending the whole time together, the whole
day.
And at the end of the day, because remember, I drove my car, but I left my car. My job where I worked wasn't too far from where we went for brunch. So
now I just want to say, pause. Gentlemen, I want you to take a note. I want you to take your pad, your pencil. If you don't have it, use your notes in your iPhone. I want you to hear these words and then tell me, I want you to put it in chat. What would have been your reaction? Maestro?
So he drives me back to the car.
Yes.
Of course, he opens the door.
I did.
And I wasn't sure if he was leaning in to do, I wasn't sure what he's going to do.
I wasn't, no, go ahead.
So anyway, I ducked under his arm.
She did.
Ran to my car.
She did.
Got in my car.
She did.
Rolled down the window.
Yes.
And yelled out, "See you when I see ya," and drove off.
It was over. It was like, you ever see that, that board game or that thing, you sunk my battleship? E9, gone. So, guys, you just heard those immortal words. I'll see you when I see you. What does that say to you? I know what it said to me. I said, okie dokie. I went home and I figured, it was a nice day. I got ice cream. I got a movie. I had to spend some time. I learned something about her.
Because I knew what the Lord had said to me. You know how you wait and you wait and you wait.
And wait.
And then things start happening so fast, it takes you by surprise.
It took her by surprise.
It really was. And I
literally took her breath away.
Yeah. So the very next day, I had a planned trip. I was going to Charlotte for a month, actually Fort Mill, South Carolina, for a month.
Yep, for a month.
And while I was there...
No, pause. So, guys, I want you to listen to this one. She just tells me, I see you when I see you, right? Then I get a phone call. I got a phone call. Can you take me to the airport?
You were driving down that way.
No,
it would have saved my family.
No, I wasn't driving down that way, first of all.
Well,
I was driving in a couple days to Charlotte to a conference with a car full of guys. So, and then I was going to Brooklyn to pick them up. So, but I want you to, we'll play this again. I get a phone call. Me, Mr. I see you when I see you. I guess she wanted to see me. I don't know. But here's what I get. Can you take me to the airport? I was like,
I honestly don't even remember that part.
No, I remember it very well. I was like,
anyway,
I looked at my caller ID and I looked at myself. I said, nah, click.
Anyway, I went to Charlotte.
She did.
And while I was away, I was like, Lord Jesus, what are you doing?
Yep.
He wasn't what I expected you to send.
Nope.
Lord, what are you doing? So I prayed.
50 Shades of Brown.
There's some more details in the book, but to make a long story short, my prayer was, Lord, if he is the one for me, I need you to give me a love for him. And man, in 1 month.
You want to see what God can do in a short period of time?
In 1 month, I came back.
In 1 month.
And it turned out that the night that I came back from Charlotte.
The night she came back from Charlotte.
He was preaching at my dad's church.
I was preaching.
And I really felt as if I was shot by Cupid's arrow. I could not take my eyes off of him.
Matter of fact, I can tell you the message. You know what the message was about?
I have no idea what the message was about.
I remember. I was actually talking about the woman with the issue of blood that night. And so while I was doing all my preaching and speaking and exegetical, whatever I was doing, right? My pastor was watching her. And he was like, I got done. I'm like, he asked me, did you see Paula looking at you? I said, I didn't see anybody looking at me. I was too busy focusing on what I was doing. He goes, why was she watching you? I said, I don't know. Why don't you ask her? I have no idea.
Oh, goodness.
So she was smitten. I was like still feeling like that jilted guy that just got left at the curb. I was done preaching and so my responsibility was I was the guy that counted the money, right? So I was going back to count the money. And you tell them. Because this is hilarious.
At the end of the service, typically, I was the first one out the door.
Whew. I see you when I see you.
I would meet people and greet them as they were in my path, but otherwise, I was gone.
Like a jet.
But that night,
boys and girls,
I hung around.
She hung around.
And I went up to greet my brother.
And she did.
I gave him a hug and said, "Oh, my friend."
Anybody taking notes? No, I'm sorry. If you're taking notes, say, "I am taking notes." And if you are saying, "This can't be real." Oh, no, it's real. Proceed, maestro.
Anyway. So I wound up hanging around, and that was the start of it. That's the day that I officially say we started dating.
That day.
So
July 3rd didn't count.
No.
That was a throwout.
Right.
So we threw that one out.
So it was August. Was it August 3rd? It may have been. It was the first Wednesday in August. It was whatever that was.
In 2010.
In August.
So if somebody wants to look it up and Google it and put it in the chat,
please let us know.
If you here's what we'll do. If you are the first one that puts it in the chat, we will send you copy of my wife's book, Delayed Not Denied. Yes. So if you can tell us the first Wednesday in August in 2010,
yes,
we will send you a copy of the book. All we're going to ask you to do is DM my wife and then send her your email address. She'll contact you and we will send you a free copy of the book autographed by the author. And here's what we ask you to do. Put a review in after you've done reading it.
Yes. Please.
That's all we're asking. That we're not asking for a lot.
Please.
But we're asking you to reciprocate by telling us what you thought.
Yes.
So that was the first Wednesday in August.
2 weeks later.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
He bought a ring.
Yeah, I did.
2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, I bought a ring.
So how did you know? 2 weeks later.
Oh, Lord.
Now we, of course, talked every day. He saw me almost every day,
and we
went away for a week.
Yeah, but we were also in meetings all week at her father's church. Yeah. So we got to see her. She got her first kiss.
Ooh, minister's kiss.
It was no minister's kiss. I was an elder. There's a whole different level right there. I was an ordained elder, and I gave her an ordained kiss. That was ordained. It was ordained.
Okay, anyway. So
it was. You missed it, but it was. You didn't see it, but she did.
2 weeks later.
2 weeks later.
He bought a ring.
I bought a ring.
And then 3 weeks later, did you introduce me to your dad?
Yes, we drove to Pennsylvania to meet my dad. So I had found the ring, but now I had to size the ring. So we were in a mall with my dad. My dad, I think, took us to Maryland or someplace across the whatever border.
Delaware, maybe?
Delaware. It was Delaware. So we're at a counter, and she was looking at stuff. And I said, "Oh, you know what? While we're here, what? Just try one on." And she was still in.
I had no idea.
Nowhere. But I was already five steps ahead. And so here's what happened. So I said, and I asked the clerk, I said, "So what size is that?" And she told me. I said, "Oh, great." Filed it in my little memory bank. And then when I got back, I called the jeweler, said, "I got the size." He sized the ring. To the T. To the T. This is cool. You can't make this up. So I now got the ring. I got the size and the ring. I'm in, as far as I'm concerned, I'm in cruise control. Now, here's the interesting thing. It's 2010. Her birthday happens to be 10/10. So that year it was triple, right? 10/10/10, right? So I said, "Oh, wouldn't it be cool to do the proposal on 10/10/10?"
And then I figured out that he was going to do it on 10/10/10.
And then I said, I figured out that she figured it out. And guess what I did? I changed it. So I said, okay, two can play that game. So here's what I did. I called her secretary.
Remember, I was a principal at the time.
She was a principal at the time. So I called her secretary and I said, can you help me plan this proposal? And first of all, when you're talking to other women, when I told them what I was about to do, and the school is filled with women, this was the easiest play since I don't know when. So all the women involved, even the guys, they were all in. So I said, look, here's when I'm going to do it. September 24th, right? I'm going to do it that day because we have to go look at a place where we're looking to move, right? And or I was looking to get there because we'll get to that later. So I said September 24th. And so I get there. Well, before I did that, let me say that. I had picked up the ring. Prior to seeing her, her parents were at the church.
My dad's a pastor, as you probably figured out.
They were at the church. I went to go see my mother-in-law first and showed her the ring because they couldn't make it because they had a prior engagement. And I brought her a dozen roses and I showed her the ring. And she was, she was cool. Checkbox.
You forgot a really important part.
They can stay tuned for stage 2. We can't get to everything tonight.
Right.
There's a whole lot to unpack.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
But here, let me do this again. See what it says on the bottom? Delayed, not denied. Purchase your book on Amazon and it'll tell you everything. And then you got questions you can ask us when we come back.
Yes.
So this is only like season 1, episode 1. We hope to get many seasons out of this road map to marriage.
Yes.
So anyway, that's rolling about at the bottom. There's a QR code. Scan it. Boom. Get the book. But anyway, I do that part. Get that taken care of. I go to the school. I then go to the school. I call her. She has no idea.
Friday, August 24th. I was standing outside.
September
24th.
She was standing outside and I could see her.
I was dismissing our children.
Yes,
Elementary
she
school.
was doing what
parents were coming to
Yes,
pick up the kids. So I was out there talking with parents.
Yes.
Parents.
Yes.
And then I go back into my office.
And then she goes back into her office.
And 2 of my staff members come in and say,
breath.
Oh, where's John? John, you guys are going to check out a place? Or I said, yeah. And they said, well, you might want to freshen up your makeup. It's like, okay. And then shortly after I was doing that, another woman runs into my office and says, Dr. Childs, we need you right now. Now, what they didn't know is that in a previous job, the last time somebody did something like that, sadly, a staff member, actually a secretary, was on the ground.
Yeah.
Dead. So I'm freaking out because I'm like, oh my God, there's been an emergency. So I'm trying to run down the hallway and they're walking. I'm like, move.
Yeah.
I get to this. We had a combination gym, cafeteria, auditorium. So I don't even know how we would pronounce it, but it's all 3 in one. They open the doors. And when they open the doors, my entire staff is in the room,
including the janitor.
And my custodian, John,
excuse me, his name is John as well,
takes me by the hand and leads me up to the stage.
Where there's a little kiddie chair.
In the middle of the stage.
And
he instructs me to sit down. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see him in the wings of the stage. And all the tears. We'll put it up. We'll share the video with you.
It was, I had you at hello and goodbye. So all these women are there. All the oohs and the ahs and the crying and the yada, 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 yada. It was like, it was literally out of a scene of a movie. I come over, get down on one knee, pop open the box, slide the ring that I had already pre-signed, size.
Yes.
It fits like a glove.
Yes, it does.
Give her a dozen roses. I ask her the question. She says, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
memorable.
It was like I really loved it because I tell people, we tell people now, and they're like, "What do you mean? He did what?" I said, "Yeah. What did you do?"
Yeah, exactly.
Go
So
ahead.
we'll put a link for the video in the show notes.
So you know
Make sure
what?
you check
Let me ask you this question. If you've done something that was really, really cool to propose, put it in the chat. I'd love to know. But so
Yeah.
far, the one I did is like this. If y'all got something better, I'd like to know, because I'd like to hear how everybody proposed to their wife. I think that is so cool. I think we could do it like, I'd love to do just a segment on how did you propose to your wife?
Exactly.
And where did you propose to your
Mhm,
wife?
mhm.
And if it's anyway, some places I would anyway, anyway. But anyway, I'd love to know, because I think that would be really interesting to see all the different ways we proposed and they said yes. And you know the one I really want to know? Did anybody say no?
Mm.
Has anybody proposed to somebody and the young lady said no? Or let me ask you this question. Has anybody had a woman propose to a man?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's
I did have a
stranger
guy
things have happened.
asked me to marry him. We had never even been out on a date. He said the Lord told him that I was his wife.
Yeah, well, he was wrong.
Yeah, he was really
And
wrong.
he was not a prophet either.
Not at all.
He profited
So
nothing.
yeah, I forgot about that one. He bought a ring and everything.
Yeah, he profited zero. And he probably used that line on somebody, and somebody fell for it.
I'm sure.
But not.
Well, he's happily married now.
Well, praise God.
Yeah,
but
he's
moving right
happily
along,
married
singing
now.
a song. So we're that's where we are, so we're engaged. But I think that what we'd like you to do is come back for episode 2, because you ever watch the movie Fast and Furious?
Yeah, we'll fill you in.
So
we'll pick up from the engagement night.
So here, if you're taking notes, September 24th, it's a Friday. No more free books now.
Yes.
For this episode. September 24th, it's a Friday. She says yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Parents are good. We didn't even tell you how I even got there with her father. And so we got more to unpack. Yes. We just wanted to give you kind of the
highlights.
What is
highlight reel?
What does the fairy tale look like? Well, this is the fairy tale. So, but I think the most important thing is this roadmap to marriage, if done right, doesn't take long.
Amen. It doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. How long have you been engaged? 5 years. Really? 5 years. Look, I really think that if God is in it,
yes,
that's
the key. If God is
in it, then you know what? You can move through this process. But I will also say that since both of us are certified in coaching, the other thing is we recommend highly saving your marriage before it starts.
Yes.
And if you're looking to get engaged, or you're even looking across the aisle and you found whomever, I would recommend you talking to us. We'll give you an email address, and we want to help you with what we call SYMBIS. It's saving your marriage before it starts. It's probably the most accurate, it's not software, the most accurate assessment that you'll ever take in your life. We took it as we were married, and it still pegged us.
Yes, it did.
And the couples that we've done it with, we've seen it and we've unpacked it. And I'll tell you, it has been a really strong tool. So saving your marriage before it starts. SYMBIS. There's books you can start reading, but you need somebody to bring you along. So I would recommend, we've been there. Yeah. And we do it. This is what we do professionally. So this is our part of roadmap to marriage. Now, we will be offering throughout these episodes a free SYMBIS assessment for you. So that's something you can look forward to. We'll give away a few of those, but we want to make sure that you're engaged and that you're taking good notes, because remember, let's go back. Episode 2, somebody should be able to tell us where we left off at September 24th, 2010. Yep. Because that was September 24th, 2010. So roadmap to marriage, John and Paula and John, however you want to put it. But it just says Paula and John on the screen there. So, but we really want to invite you to subscribe, like, and share. Those are the big three: subscribe, like, and share. If you can do those three instructions, you're going to help us because we want to help you. And we'll unpack some things from the, from the emotional side, from the spiritual side, and from the practical side. All of those pieces will come here because, look, the great thing is that we got married. This, by the way, just to give you a little, I'll give you a little piece here. This was my second marriage. But just to give you some insight, we really walked the chalk. We
walked the chalk.
We walked the chalk.
We walk the talk.
We walk the talk and walk the chalk,
Okay.
whichever the terminology. Walk the chalk, it's like you're taking it on a DWI.
Exactly.
So I'm sorry. We walk the talk. All right. Forgive me. Anyway, but the most important thing is that we live the life to get us to the point where we are today. And that's the most important thing for us. And that's where we feel that we can really stand on that.
And we want to help you all. For those of you that are single, because we have lived this and we've been there. My story is I was a 49-year-old virgin, now married to a preacher. And the Lord is able to do it. We want to let you know that if that is your desire, it is possible. I'm living proof.
Right.
So don't give up hope.
Yeah.
And doing it God's way is still the best way.
And as far as we're concerned, it's the only way.
Amen.
And we've seen crash and burn. We've seen people put the cart before the horse. We've seen people engage in a whole bunch of stuff. Look, the best way is the only way, which is God's way.
Amen.
So roadmap to marriage.
That's our website too, roadmaptomarriage.com.
Right.
You'll be able to see some things there.
But this roadmap to marriage is you making a commitment. The commitment is first to Christ. The second commitment is to yourselves, that you're going to hold each other accountable until you say, I do.
Yes.
And then all bets are off. You can do whatever you want. I mean, not everything, but you know what I'm saying. But the commitment has to be first to Christ. Then the next commitment has got to be to yourselves.
Amen.
And then we're here to be your accountability partners, to help you get across that threshold to get to the I do.
Amen.
And guess what? I'll even marry you.
He's certified.
I'm ordained.
He can do it.
Remember, I'm ordained. I can do that. So look, roadmap to marriage, www.roadtomarriage.com. John and Paula and John. We'll look forward to seeing you again for episode 2. This is season 1. Episode 2 is coming, and we'll let you know when and with the frequency they'll be coming out. But we hope that you found it somewhat entertaining and somewhat that you want to share it, because we want to share with you how you can build this successful marriage following this roadmap we're about to give you.
Amen.
God bless you.
See you next time.
Be blessed. Bye-bye.